Well, my live video ended. This is the, I pulled over as soon as it ended, and I'm going to pick it up from here. And I'll post it later, and I apologize. So here, we're back on Benedict Canyon. We have been, haven't left it. That was John Ritter's home, 1205 Benedict Canyon. That's Elizabeth Montgomery's last home, 1230 Benedict Canyon. And the lights up ahead is where the Tate House stood. Above the road, that's where it was. So we're coming up to Valentino's old stables. These were the stables to Valentino's home, which was destroyed. The guest house still exists. And when Tarantino made Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, they stayed as close as they could and got as much as they could of the original place. So the Tate House was torn down in '93. A couple of new houses built on the street. So Tarantino used as much as he could. So he started Cielo Drive footage here, put phony street lights on this street, and this was represented Cielo Drive, because it was Cielo Drive. And Tarantino, so when you saw like Brad Pitt spinning out, or, you know, Margot Robbie and the guy who played Polanski, you know, whipping down the hill and spinning out and heading down the hill, that was right here, Brad Pitt spinning out right here. So they were going up Cielo, which is there. That's what we're going to do, actually. So I'm going to show you. This is Bella Drive, and Valentino's house was at the top of that hill. But in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, you saw that intersection, and there was a Cielo Drive street sign, and the camera was often at this angle that they just come whipping down that street. So the night of the murders, what really happened was that Tex was behind the wheel, and they went up the hill to the end, cut the phone lines, and came back down here and parked right there. And they walked up on foot, which is the only way you can walk up really on foot. Now in the movie, they represented it just the same way. They drove up to the top, except Leonardo DiCaprio in the movie chased him down, and they parked down there. And they went back up on foot. But Linda Kasabian left her knife behind, and then she took off and left the other. So anyway, we're going to go up. We're going to walk. This is the path that the killers took 55 years ago tonight. because people really live on this street. And they probably get this a lot. I don't want to make it any more obnoxious than I already am. If you get an idea how quiet it is up here. How quiet. Stephen Parent was killed about 10 yards beyond this gate. So Mrs. Chapman would have gone through this way, opened up the gates, discovered the bodies, and ran screaming. Murder, bodies, blood. She got to this house, the Cott's house. The Cotts heard gunshots the night before, but didn't think it was something to take seriously. So they didn't call the police. They were not home that morning, so Mrs. Chapman was pounding on the door. No one answered. But they heard the gunshots. That house was not there. Mrs. Chapman continued screaming. She ran to this house, the Asen family house. It's being heavily remodeled right now. Jim Mason, 15 years old, Boy Scout. That scared the shit out of me. And they called the police. That scared the living shit out of me. So this is my destination. I'll be back.